I had a friend called me, he did an engineering degree. He can't find a job.
It's not looking good. The job market in the UK is finished.
Alright, this comment says, I literally got offered 23k for a 90-minute commute job.
My name is Dana. I've been a model for about 9 years.
And everyone's like, no, you don't have experience. Like, we need someone with experience.
So this is my 8th month of being unemployed.
I underestimated how hard it is, and honestly, this job market has broken me. I've been broke.
It's just shocking considering this is 5 years of progress since COVID here and the employment rate has hardly changed.
And you don't even have the decency to respond to my application, not even a rejection email, just pure ghosted.
The job market is finished. It's well and truly over, and this is your proof.
This is why you're not getting a job in the UK, and it's not because the job market is rubbish right now.
Welcome to the UK job market, where degrees are useless, jobs are mythical, and rejection is a lifestyle. Even your Wi-Fi has more connections than you. Subscribe for more brutal truths and a side of sarcasm.
The job market is finished. It's well and truly over, and this is your proof. This girl was rejected from Cafe Nero for a shift leader role with 8 years barista experience, 5 years of shift leading in cafes, 2 years of assistant management in a cafe, and a level 3 apprenticeship in hospitality. Where do you go from there?
So I just got an email to say that I'm not progressing to the 3rd round for my gym interview, and I am in such shock, guys. Like, I live and breathe fitness. I've literally been going to the gym for 7 years. I'm like always in active wear. Anyone that knows me knows I'm like fitness, gym, health, nutrition, everything. I literally helped my ex-boyfriend start his own personal training business, which is in Dubai. And I've been going to the gym for 7 years. And I didn't get a job as a sales assistant or sales person at my current gym. But I could sell anyone a membership at my current gym. I'm so personable. I'm super like friendly, approachable. Like, I'm actually in shock, guys. Like, it is impossible to get a job here in London. Like, is it just because of my visa, or like, I am in shock. I did not get this job at the gym.
Okay, I'm just gonna shamelessly do this. My name is Dana. I've been a model for about 9 years. I have a marketing degree. I also have a certification in front-end development. I can speak 2 other languages. I'm currently living in London, and I've been applying for jobs for over 6 months and zero responses. So if anyone knows anybody hiring, I'm more than happy to send my resume. But it's a tough journey out there, so if anyone's going through this, you're not alone. And that's it. I hope you all have a fantastic day.
So this is my 8th month of being unemployed. At this point, I don't have any sort of life. I'm not going out. I'm not meeting people. I'm not going out into society and talking to people. I am finding jobs all the time. I'm spending hours upon hours filling in application forms I know won't even be considered because it's just a formality. That is the basis of this country, the fact that the whole job application thing is often a formality, and it's, you know, all the nepo babies that get the jobs. Sick of the fact that it's a full-time job in itself to try and find a full-time job, and I'm not even getting paid for it. Why is finding a full-time job a full-time job? So many unemployed people in this country who need a job. Are we supposed to get previous experience in the first place if no one will give us a chance? Like, give us a chance.
Do you know what actually really gets on my last nerves? These job applications, like, what the hell? I spend hours, I'm not even joking, hours on applications, on even just like one application, because apparently putting my CV isn't enough. They want more information. They want me to rewrite my education history. They want me to rewrite my employment history. I'm doing all of this. I'm rewriting cover letters like specific to your jobs. I'm changing my CV specific to your job role, and you don't even have the decency to respond to my application. Not even a rejection email, just pure ghosted. Like, at least if I get rejected, I know that you've probably not even seen it, but you've at least seen my name and that my application has come through and you've just rejected me. But to ghost me and not even give me a response, that shit hurts.
You know the economy's bad when people who study those really well-respected subjects are just broke. Yeah, I had a friend called me. He did an engineering degree. He can't find a job. I got friends who've done maths degrees, economic degrees, and they're literally working in retail. Like, eventually they'll get a job in that field of study, but not for a while. Like, they got to go through so many steps. They would have been better off if they just became an Uber driver, honestly. That's how oversaturated uni degrees are. And some of you are still trying to study some ridiculous subject because it's fun. Yeah, you want to study your philosophy and your gender stuff. My friend, you're going to struggle if you do that. God bless if your parents are rich, yeah? Do what you want. But if you do it outside of that reason, you're an idiot. You're either ignorant, naive, or just stupid. So please, lock in. I have to get this video to a minute just so I can pay my bills. That's how oversaturated university is. All right, we've got 10 seconds. Lock in. What else? Guys, uni. All right, 5 seconds. Hold on. We're nearly done. You get the message, yeah? Be careful when you're studying university. All right, bye-bye.
This is why you're not getting a job in the UK. And it's not because the job market is rubbish right now. Employers, they are not reading your CVs. They are not reading your CVs. They're actually putting it through AI to scan for keywords. I'm an employment advisor and I help hundreds of people every single week find a job. One thing I've noticed is that people don't bother to read their CVs before they apply to that particular job, or they don't bother to tailor their CV to the skills that the job post is looking for. Why aren't you guys utilizing AI to find you a job? And that doesn't mean for you to create a fake CV, but that means that you can literally ask AI, please tailor my CV to the job description based on my experience. AI is free. And for those of you that are getting interviews but you're flopping the interviews, why aren't you using AI to help you prepare for the interview? You can put a job description in AI and say, hey, give me interview questions based on a job description, possible questions that they can ask me, and help me prepare for the interview. ChatGPT is free. Have you not even prepared? I know it's crazy right now. I know it's really competitive, but stop blaming the job market and do better. Word from Serena.
Can we just take a second? Can we take a moment to speak about the UK job market at the moment, specifically for international students and international applicants? Finding a job was already tough as it was, but now it's just even more tough because of the fact that there are new rules and regulations surrounding visas and immigration. And I feel like companies are really scared to take a leap right now and offer anyone a proper offer at the moment. I'm in so many group chats of people who have applied to companies, have gone through a rigorous amount of applications, have gotten through assessment centers, final stage interviews, and have actually been given offers, and then their offers were just withdrawn. And people have been prevented from going to their assessment centers because of this said reason. But it's like, okay, what exactly are we supposed to do right now? Are we just waiting? Is it a waiting game? Because I feel like everyone is just on their tiptoes right now up until the 4th of April, because that's when everything's going to be properly finalized and announced. But yeah, recruiters are sort of not even telling us what to do and what stance they're taking. We're being put into talent pools, holding pools, and I just want to understand what everyone else is doing in the situation. Are we supposed to wait around? Are we supposed to still apply to more jobs? Because at this point, it's like, I feel like we're all just confused and on the same boat. So if you have received a job offer recently and need visa sponsorship, please tell me what you're doing and what your recruiter has told you regarding this situation, just because it would be nice to know. But yeah, if anyone's in the same boat, we're in this together, you and me.
Everyone knows that the UK job market is completely cooked right now. But data shows that the job market actually cooled down in February. The UK labour market saw a softer decline in the recruitment activity in February 2025. This is based on the latest data from KPMG and the Recruitment and Employment Confederation. Now, the job market in the UK has been cooked for a number of months now. I have routinely spoken to friends that have been out of work for over a year. In fact, I spoke to someone just 2 weeks ago that had just secured employment after 14 months of being out of a job. And I'm not talking about people who are underskilled. I'm talking about people who are well versed in their respective industries. People that have 5, 10, 15, sometimes even 20 years experience doing one particular thing. So So just because you're skilled and you have experience and knowledge in the particular sector that you work in, it doesn't mean that you can quickly secure another job if you were to be made redundant. And significant changes in the data or the job market won't come into effect until months down the line. Just because the data now says things are getting better, it doesn't mean that things are getting better in real terms. And everyone's experience is anecdotal. But as I always say on these videos, this just comes down to the fact that the UK economy is in absolute pieces right now. Confidence is at an all-time low and companies are not setting up shop in the UK. And any good company that is based in the UK is going abroad because there's better opportunities elsewhere. And of course, that has a massive effect on the jobs that are available. And then we see what we see today. Hopefully 2025 gets better for people out there that are looking for jobs, but it is a minefield right now. If you've never seen me before, I talk about the economy, personal finance, and making you and your family more money. So if you're not already, hit that follow button.
I've just found the unemployment rate in the UK right now, and it's at 4.44, which, as you can see, it's been going up since 2022, and we're almost at the exact same levels as COVID. As you can see here, in 2020, between October and December, the unemployment rate was 5.3, and it's 4.44 now. And by the looks of things, it doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon either. Since 2022, it's literally just been going up and up and up. Now, a lot of people will say it's because of all the AI and all the technology taking over all the jobs, but I think it's got a lot to do with our government at the moment. They're basically forcing businesses to be extremely careful with who they pick and who they choose to employ. And this isn't just affecting the businesses, it's affecting the employees who want to join these companies. I mean, if you've got any stories, leave them in the comments below, but I know that businesses are putting people through like 4-stage interviews for no reason just to employ someone. It's just shocking considering this is 5 years of progress since COVID here and the employment rate has hardly changed. What do you think we need to fix all this? Let me know in the comments and drop me a follow while you're here.
I've been unemployed for the last 6 months. I've been lucky and very blessed that the majority of this time I went traveling around Asia, but then I came back to the UK job market of 2025, and it's the wild wild west out here. It's the wild wild west. I remember when I first came back, I was reading articles about how people are struggling to get jobs, and I remember listening to this podcast and hearing it's taking people 5 months to get jobs, and I was just like, what on earth, until I entered it. I feel like the job market, the UK job market in general, I underestimated how hard it is. And honestly, this job market has broken me. I've been broken. I've been broken. Like the ghosting, the way that you can't get feedback on the rejections of the applications, the long application forms, the 5-step processes. Like, I just feel I was just shook. So I'm going to share my journey in the UK job market of 2025. I'm going to share some tips. I'm going to share some failings. I'm going to share what I've learned and how it might be able to help you. And yeah, I might share some traveling stuff as well. So if you're interested in any of this, then follow along. I'll leave a comment with a question and I'll answer it, because I just feel like I have a lot to say about the UK job market of 2025.
Can we just talk about finding a job after uni? So I graduated like 6 months ago and I have just got my first interview. I have been applying like crazy. Like, it's literally a full-time job. Like, it's like you literally work so hard to get your degree, and then it's almost like you have no time to feel like you've accomplished something, because you're just constantly like, okay, like, get a job quickly, like, and everyone's like, no, you don't have experience, like, we need someone with experience. And it's almost like that degree is just kind of like for nothing. Why is it so hard to work? Like, I'm offering you labor. Why is this a thing? Like, I don't get it. Especially if you don't really have experience. I just don't feel like it was pushed on students enough at uni. Then you start from square one, like applying for apprenticeships, applying for work experience. volunteering, like we're not taking on any more people, and I'm like, reiterate the non-paid part, like you don't know what you're doing, you feel like a bum. I just would like to know what this system is, like, why is this a thing?
Alright, this comment says, I literally got offered 23k for a 90-minute commute job. They wanted a degree and a portfolio. So look, I think this is the other thing which isn't talked about enough when it comes to the UK job market, is the hoops that they want you to jump through. For a £23,000 a year job, they want you to jump through all these hoops as if you're applying for a job which pays £100,000 a year. And it's not just the hoops that they look for you to jump through, but it's also what you'll be doing once you get on the job. A lot of these jobs that advertise for a relatively low/average salary want you to jump over the moon when you're in the job. You have responsibility up to your eyeballs. So not only does the job not pay that well, but you'll also end up having a lot of anxiety because you'll be dealing with a lot of responsibilities and you'll be in charge of a lot of things. Many of these jobs have deliverables which have a set by date which needs to be done as well. So again, it's just a lot of stress for not a lot of pay. I think most people wouldn't mind working hard if they were paid right and compensated in the right way. And it's a common theme that I've seen with a lot of jobs that are advertised in the UK, where they do want you to have some level of seniority and experience, but they don't want to pay you right for doing the job. And that is just another issue in the ongoing saga of the UK job market. The UK job market strikes again with people now staying in jobs that they don't like just because they can't secure an interview and get a job elsewhere. This post on Reddit says, anybody else stuck in a job I hate and the job market is terrible. This person then goes on to say they have a secure, decent paying job, but they hate it. The work environment is toxic and hard work is rewarded with overloading, constantly picking up other people's work. They say they go home feeling overwhelmed and stressed about what they need to do tomorrow. And they can't even enjoy holidays because they know people are looking for them. So this person wants to actively get out of the job they're in, but they can't seem to secure an interview elsewhere. And I think this just sums up the UK job market at the moment. Even the people in skilled jobs who have decades of experience are struggling with the UK job market. And the more and more I look at the landscape, things are getting worse and worse. But who's to blame for this? Is it the fact that companies can get away with paying a low wage because they know that the government will step in with universal credit and top up salaries? Or is it the fact that the government prevents investment in the United Kingdom because they've damaged the economy so much? When you look at the world and look at the USA, the opportunities are so much more. The pool of talent is greater, and there's way more money flowing into the USA compared to the UK. And even countries like India and China are seeing companies flock to them over the UK. So what can be done about this crazy UK job market? I think more investment is needed into the UK economy. But to do that, the government needs to make things exciting for people to want to come to the UK. Right now, there is no benefit for companies to come to the UK and create meaningful jobs. And companies know they can get away with paying shocking salaries because the government will step in with universal credit and top up that salary. And I think as long as people are willing to take these jobs that are pretty low paid, then companies will continue to offer them. I don't see the UK job market getting better anytime soon. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. The job market in the UK is finished. It's actually finished. It's getting worse. It's crazy how many people I've seen struggling to find a job. You know, we're talking people who have got masters, who've got PhDs, who've even got just normal degrees, applying for regular jobs, regular income, nothing special. And they're getting turned down. No reply, no email, no nothing. What is going on? Like, I understand that you're overqualified, but what does that really mean? What does that really come down to? Because you're either qualified, and that means that you can do any job. If you're qualified, it means anything easier than that, you should be able to do, and you can do. So what does it mean when it says you're overqualified? What kind of excuse is that? You know, you've got somebody who's got a great resume, a great CV, somebody who's got experience, who's got years of being doing something, and you reject them because they're overly qualified. What have we come down to? What is going on? So my piece of advice is to you guys who are in this situation right now, who are unemployed, who are applying for jobs, who are literally looking to start something, is apply to anything. Apply, just do it. You know what I mean? It's better than nothing. You might not be the job you want to do, but at least you have something. You have a source of income. You have regular money coming in. You have a job. You have be stable financially as well. So just do it. Go for it. Don't be worried. You know, and you might end up liking it. So stay positive and don't stop.
I graduated in June 2023 And that was the last time I had a part-time work whilst I was at university. Since then, I've been doing short-term contract work, self-employment, freelance, in unpaid internships and volunteer work, as well as being like participants in like group research stuff. I've been pretty like active since January, March, May, June, July, August, September, November, December. Currently this year it's February, March and April, and I'm trying to find something for May just so it looks like that I'm active. I decided to show you guys my spreadsheet because I want you guys to see how active you can be and productive you can be, that you still can't get a job. Like, even after putting in 500 plus applications and getting interviews, it's that difficult. A lot of the work that I did for these like companies were extremely short term. And I also had to face racism, microaggression, not just like while working, but also from recruiters on LinkedIn. Still haven't been paid for one of my internships. For one company, she didn't want to pay me for the work I did. And I've had people on LinkedIn reach out to me to work for free for them. And it's just exploitation at this point. It's been a month and I haven't been applying for jobs. I don't have steady income. I can't look after my mental well-being or my physical being. I can't go out. I can't enjoy things. And it does take a toll on you mentally. It doesn't help that 98% of these companies don't give you feedback. And when you ask for feedback, they ignore you. And on top of that, they just throw away your hard work and experience. They try to get qualified people who have 10 plus years experience, and they try to make them work for like 20k.
Can we just talk about how difficult it is to get into the UK jobs market right now? Is it just me, or is it stupidly hard to get contracted employment? All my employment's agency anyway, so I don't normally have to worry about this, but as an experiment, I applied for a weekend job. I'm not going to name the shop, but it was just stacking some shelves, and the application process was ridiculous. Ridiculous. So you had to do two assessments, and one was the equivalent of a personality test that took half an hour to do, and the other one was some sort of situational test in which quite a few of the answers were quite similar anyway. And then that doesn't even get onto the application form, in which you have to write almost the equivalent of War and Peace. I mean, I got ChatGPT to do it, because it would have taken me over an hour to do. How is anyone employed? How is anybody in contracted employment? And that's just for stacking some shelves. If it's a skilled role, I get that, but stacking some shelves and you're requiring all that should just be your CV. I'm sorry, guys, it should just be your CV for me. I saw something the other week in which the government's apparently bamboozled because there's 10 million people who are economically inactive. Yeah, I'm not surprised. If that's what it takes to get into employment, I'm not surprised. I mean, I understand for a skilled role. I mean, if you're going for a director or something like that, yeah, but I mean, they call it low-skilled work. It's not low-skilled work. It's actually quite high-skilled work. But, for low-skilled jobs like that, it should just be your CV. That's why all my employment's agency, because it's so much quicker and more efficient, and you don't need all this stuff. You really don't need all this stuff. Not being snobby, but I have a degree in business, right? I've been studying business at university. I can teach you all about investing and cyclical trading, dip trading, social trading. I can teach you about the macroeconomic policy and where the price of Bitcoin is going. Yeah, no problem. But I can't do that. Even that, and it's not even just me. I know career professionals, PhDs, and my friend's mother's even a lawyer, my uni friend's mother, and even she struggles. Apparently she can't get in either. I don't know, let me know in the comments if anybody's watching this, but for me it's just ridiculous to try and get into employment in the UK. It's stupidly hard.